Hey y'all, it's Missniecytv and I'm here to do a review for Zatima Season 3, Episode 18. Episode picks up and Zach and Fatima are in the bed and Zach is like, is it raining? Fatima's like, I hope not. Zach is like, why you say that? Fatima's like, cause every time it's raining you always want to stay in the bed. Cause like, I just want to stay here with you and the baby. Fatima's like, well, me and the baby gotta go to work. Zach is like, you always gotta do something. Fatima's like, I know and you do too, so get up. Zach gets up, he goes to the bathroom. While he's in the bathroom, his phone dings, and Fatima's like, your phone's dinging. Zach is like, what did it say? Fatima's like, Zach. Zach is like, just read it. I'm showing you I have nothing to hide. Fatima's like, really, Zach? Fatima's like, anybody who's texting you this early is looking for drama. Zach is like, that's funny because your phone's dinging now. And as he's saying this, Fatima's phone dings, and he's like, but that's some drama. Fatima's like, anybody that just texts my phone is not drama. Zach is like, you sure about that? Because that was Leslie. She was texting to apologize for what she did. Fatima's like, well, she could keep that apology because I don't want it. It's like, we do need to talk about it. And that's when Fatima tells Zach, who was texting his phone, it's the funeral home director. She's like, we got to get this money in fast because he's going to keep going up by the day. Zach is like, well, we can do the funeral tomorrow. Fatima's like, well, you know Jeremiah's going to want to go. Zach is like, I know. I told you that you wanted me to help him, right? Fatima's like, yeah, but are you going to do it? Zach is like, I'm going to do what I can. Fatima's like, I love that and I love you for trying. Zach tries to get in bed and Fatima's like, no, you're not getting back in this bed. You're going to get too comfortable. Zach is like, well, go to the bathroom first because you take forever. Fatima's like, well, you go to the car and I'm going to go to the funeral home and set the director straight and then I'm going to go to work. Fatima goes to the bathroom and Zach chases behind her and he starts humping the door. He's like, Fatima, let me in. I'm like, that seems so funny. As Zach and Fatima are riding to the funeral home, Angela calls Fatima and she's like, so can Malachi help me? Fatima's like, I don't know about that. It's been a big mess and I don't know. Angela's like, so you won't be able to help me take the pictures down? Fatima's like, you know what, me and Zach are actually on our way to the funeral home to talk to the director. I'll talk to you at work. Angela's like, so that means you'll be late to work. Fatima's like, no, I'll be there at 9, right about 9. Zach starts laughing. Fatima's like, really? Angela's like, okay, I'll see you at your desk. Over at the funeral home, Zach and Fatima finally made it there, and the funeral director's like, how y'all doing? Zach is like, we fine. The funeral director's like, sorry about all the texts and calls. Fatima's like, is that what you do to everyone? The funeral director's like, no, that's only when we have business concerns. Fatima's like, I see. It's like, here's your check. The funeral director's like, oh, there's an additional fee. Fatima's like, what? You said that was the full amount. The funeral director's like, you said you wanted to have the funeral tomorrow. This is for today. Zach is like, so you do this to everybody? The funeral director's like, well, we are a business. Zach is like, the business of making everybody broke. Zach is like, I'll pay you the rest tomorrow. The funeral director's like, well, I need it today. Fatima's like, we'll have the funeral tomorrow at 10 a.m. Zach is like, we'll pay you this amount right now, though. The funeral director's like, BS. And Zach and Fatima are like, ooh, you're not supposed to cuss around the dead. The funeral director's like, if we don't have the full amount by tomorrow, we'll have to hold the doors. Fatima's like, is that what you do to people that are grieving? The funeral director's like, I'm sorry. The funeral director's like, is there anything else you need? Zach is like, no, you took everything. The funeral director's like, I'm sorry. He's like, I'm sorry about your mother, too. Zach is like, I'm sorry, too, for even choosing this funeral home. He tells Fatima, let's go, and then Zach goes out the funeral home and he flips everything over, and the funeral director's like, this will be an extra charge. He's like, F them dead people. Fatima's like, come on before you make it more expensive. Over at Rise Ventures, Bryce and Zach have a conversation and Bryce lets Zach know that him and Preston signed the contracts and all Zach has to do is sign them. He's like, now that that's over. Bryce is like, are you gonna be mad at me forever? Zach is like, probably. Bryce is like, so there's nothing I can do to fix it? Zach is like, no. Bryce is like, we're in business together, so we gotta get along. Bryce is like, I'm a good person. Zach is like, I never said you weren't. Bryce is like, I know we got off on the wrong foot. Zach is like, no, we got off on the right foot, but you chose to go left. Zach is like, you tried to kiss me. Bryce is like, I know, and I'm sorry for that. Bryce is like, I also messed up with the money. Zach is like, I'm past both of them. I just don't really want to talk to you. Bryce is like, it won't happen again. Zach is like, it better not. Bryce is like, I just want to tell you how hard this was on me. I felt so bad. Zach is like, you need to stop being so hard on yourself. That doesn't mean that you need to be hard on yourself. Bryce is like, can we start over? Zach is like, no. Zach was just playing with him. He does want to start over and make things right with him. Over at the law firm, Angela meets Fatima in the office just like she said she would. And the first thing Angela says is, so can he help me? Angela's so concerned about herself that she doesn't even realize that Fatima's going through something with Malachi. Fatima's like, I don't know if I can help you. There's been such a big mess and I don't know if he's still going to help. Angela's like, what happened? Fatima's like, well, Leslie was drinking and she started saying all this other stuff, right? Angela's like, wow. But Angela really don't care about that. She's like, can you take these pictures down? I need them taken down. Fatima's like, well, I got somebody here. Angela's like, no, I work here too. I don't want them knowing my business. Angela tells Fatima that it was Bryce that did this whole thing, and Fatima's like, you actually believe that he was hacked? Angela's like, can you just call him? And that's when Fatima calls him. She's like, hello, I need your help with Angela. Malachi's not focused on that because he still wants to talk to her and have a sit down. He's like, I'm sorry, will we ever have a sit down and talk about it? Fatima's like, I don't know if that's best. I was like, still after all these years, you don't want to be around me. Fatima's like, look, I'll just give you her information. Malachi's like, look, you want to help your friend. Fatima's like, I'll just give you her information. You can call her. We ain't got to meet about nothing. I was like, Fatima, just let me make it up to you. Fatima's like, okay, fine, I'll have her call you. After Fatima gets off the phone with Angela, Angela's like, Fatima, thank you. But Angela, you need to go to somebody else. Can't you see Fatima's having her own problems? She don't want to deal with your problems too. Back over at the hospital, Jeremiah is getting discharged. Zach goes to pick him up. Zach is like, you ready? Jeremiah's like, yeah, I'm ready. Look at this pamphlet. Are you going to pay for it? Zach is like, yeah, I'll help you in anyway. Shows him the pamphlet in this inpatient rehab. Zach looks very proud. Zach is like, look, I gotta make some calls and I'll be right back. Zach calls Fatima. He basically tells her about the whole Jeremiah situation. He tries to get Fatima's opinion. Fatima says you should do it. Zach is like, okay. It's like, but if he blows my money, I'll be very mad. Fatima's like, you won't know if he blows your money if you don't try. Zach is like, okay, I'll do what I gotta do. So basically, Zach has agreed to put Jeremiah in rehab. Maya's like, can we make a stop for it? Zach is like, no, we ain't making no stops, because Zach is thinking if we make a stop, he ain't really gonna go. Jeremiah's like, no, I just want to go get some clothes. Zach is like, I'll get you some clothes and anything you need. Just glad that Jeremiah is willing and ready to change his life. I wonder how he's gonna come out as a new person and if he's really gonna change or is he going. Right, Angela's Fatima goes over there after work because that's where they're supposed to be. Malachi. Angela's like, so what's up with you and Malachi? Fatima's like, it's nothing. Angela's like, if that's what you say it is. Fatima finally tells Angela what's going on with her and Malachi. They used to date and how she caught Malachi with Leslie in the bed and now they're not friends no more and all this other stuff. And they haven't talked in years after that until Leslie showed up at her house and said that Malachi is still in love with Fatima and he wants Leslie to act and look just like her. Angela asks Fatima, is Malachi fine? Fatima doesn't answer and that's when Malachi shows up at the door and Angela's like, dang, he is fine. Fatima's like, Angela. Malachi tries to talk to Fatima. Fatima ain't trying to hear it. He's like, after all these years, you still don't want to talk to me? You don't want to be alone with me? Fatima's like, what we had was years ago and you need to go over it. And clearly you can't read the room because we're not alone. You're supposed to be here for Angela, but you trying to talk to me. Malachi is basically like, Leslie was right. I still am in love with you and I want to be with you. Fatima's like, well, that ain't happening. Next thing we know, we see Malachi unbutton his shirt and Fatima's like, what you doing? Malachi reveals a tattoo that he has on his chest of Fatima's whole face. I'm like, how you gonna be married to a whole nother woman but you're still in love with Fatima and got her face tattooed on you while you're still married? And Fatima don't even want to be with you. Hasn't even thought it. Both of you and Leslie need to be in a better room somewhere because Fatima's not even thinking about y'all. Leslie's willing to stay with you even though she knows that you're in love with Fatima. Trying to change her, she actually does it. Now look how you have a whole tattoo of a whole other woman's face on you while you're married to a woman, and she allowed you to get the tattoo, or you probably got it while you were still cheating on Fatima with her. Let me know what you guys think about the episode. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on bell notifications. Bye!